Hey, what's up? It is Craft Wednesday and we have our meditation and our painting to do. I'm sorry that it took me a little bit to get to it. One, I broke my stand. It's currently duct taped and it's gonna have to do. And then I needed to reposition. I repositioned us to be down a little bit lower. And also because I was like, crap, this is gonna take a really long time and we have a lot of details to start doing on the buildings. So we're gonna break it down. We're gonna start with a little bit of the buildings over here and over here. I'm gonna show you pictures of what we're kind of going off of, what the buildings actually look like, and we can take it from there. Now you can make them as realistic as you want. That all depends on you. Or you can copy what I do. I'm gonna try and go as realistic as possible, but you know, it's a painting, it is what it is. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're not trying to be perfect. We're just trying to get out of our head, okay? This is about healing our minds. I don't really want you to paint emotions. That's why we do the meditation first, so that we can clear our brains from all the mayhem and all the crap that we've ever gone through. No matter who done it to you, even if you've done it to yourself, it doesn't matter. But we want to get out of our head, and that's what the meditation's for. Now, I might not have the music in the background this time. I'm kind of contemplating that because YouTube flagged me already and they like copyrighted me, even though I said disclaimer, not my music. It still doesn't matter. So like, and they said it doesn't affect the video, but I don't ever want it to. So yeah, get your meditation music on, whatever you want on there, and just follow the breath work. We have to steal our heart, right? We gotta slow our heart rate down so we can get into meditation, so we can get in the zone. We don't want anything to affect it. And while we're meditating, if thoughts pop up, let them pop up, but we're not going to think about the thoughts. We're going to say, thank you, I see you, I love you, you're okay. And we're going to let it move on. It can play out however, but that's during meditation time, and that's what we're going to try and transmute to get out of our system so that we can focus on painting and have fun. Okay, so here's the pictures. Take a still shot if you need to. I'm going to print them in black and white for me. Mostly because it doesn't really matter about the colors, we just need the shadowing, and because my color printer doesn't really work. So it's just gonna be black and white, and that's fine. I just need the basic shapes. And that's all we're gonna really work with, but we're gonna try and get some more details. So, you ready? Me too. Let's do this.
Okay, welcome on in. It is time for that meditation session before we get into painting. And I dimmed everything. We got the red light going so that it's calm and peaceful. Now, remember, we have to really slow our heart rate for us to just get out of our minds. So whatever thoughts that come up, it's okay, let them come up. But how we handle them is what's going to matter most. So when you do hear them, the way to transmute it is, oh, okay, I see you. You are seen, you are loved, and that's not happening right now. And repeat that as many times as you can, as many times as you need to. And then just like these little light dots, okay, I want you to imagine those are your cells within you. And those dots hold all the emotion that come with, maybe you're like me and you suffer from flashbacks, or just whatever thoughts that are coming up. Sorry if you hear noise, that's the closet door from above. Anyway, so I want you to think about all those little emotions, those dots, and when we take our breath in, we're going to grab all those hurtful dots, kind of like a net, okay? We gotta use our imagination for this, okay? We're gonna grab them and we're gonna blow them out with our breath out. Everything's going to be a slow thing. That way we can capture everything. So as we're feeling all of our lungs, that's us grabbing all those dots of emotion, grabbing them, and as we let out nice and slow until we're like deflating all of our lungs. Now, we need to be dramatic about it. We're going to blow it all out. All those dots are just going to get out of us because we can't concentrate on our painting if we're stuck in our head. And the whole point of the painting is just to do something different than what we normally do. We're painting Virginia City, and like I said, I posted those pictures, so we're going to go off of some of those for our buildings and how we know what they look like so we know what we're painting. So if you haven't had a chance yet, take a picture of those, print it out on your printer. It's okay if it's black and white, we just need the basics. well. So let's get into the meditation, okay? First, I need you to be dramatic because we need a slower heart rate. So our first couple breaths in are, okay, and I really need you to be dramatic about it. And then we're gonna do really slow, holding our breath at the top for 1, 2, 3, and a nice slow release until we get so slow that our breath is like this. You can hear me talking, right? Like you should be able to at least talk for a long time until you feel that point of, okay, I'm running out of air. Like, once you feel that, I might pass out. I don't want you to pass out on me. Once you get to that point, then you breathe back in and you hold it and do it back again. So during that whole time, we're catching our emotional dots and releasing them before we get into our painting, okay? Remember, if the thoughts come up, what do we say? I see you. I love you. If that's not happening right now, we're not there. Okay? And do that as many times as you need to feel comfortable again. Okay? Get whatever music you can. I like to listen to Native American drum beats. Something about the drum, it helps soften and quiet the heart. I need it low. I need your heart really slow at this point. And this is the best way to do it safely. And then we get back into regular breath and all is good. Okay. So remember our elements: ether, air, fire, water, earth. I want ether and air together. Okay? Placing it here because we're working with breath work. Now breathe in through your nose. Nice and slow, fill up those lungs. And hold. 1, 2, 3. And release. And breathe in. Remember to catch all those dots with your imagination. And hold. 1, 2, 3. And breathe out. Close your eyes if you need to. And breathe in. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. At this point, you might notice like pains in your shoulders or in your back. Those are the places where those dots are living, and those are the things that we need to release. And hold. 1, 2, 3, and breathe out. And hold. 1, 2, 3, and breathe out. Breathe in. Gather all those dots while you're holding. 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. Breathe in. Fill those lungs all the way to the top. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. One more time. Regular breathing. just through your nose. Feel yourself calm and relaxed. You can repeat this as many times as you need to get calm and relaxed if you're not already. Now I want you to breathe in, and I want you to hold for as long as you can. And in this moment, if you see any images, try to take mental note of those images. It could be anything. Or if you have a piece of paper, draw them out. This is good practice for when we get into dreaming and keeping a dream journal. Sometimes that's how God speaks to us, is through our dreams. And I just want you to be still. We're going to do this for about 1 minute. And just be still. Regular breath. Keep your eyes closed or open, whatever you want. We're almost done. One more breath in and breathe out. Okay. Are we calm? Are we relaxed? You should be at this point. Now is time to get your brushes, your paint, and get back to that painting. Now we are going to break it apart and do one building at a time. And we might not finish that whole building, that's okay. I am probably going to voice over it, but we'll see. Maybe I change my mind. I just kind of do whatever feels right in the moment. Okay, so let's get started, all right? Okay, I had to actually take some time and scrape this board of mine off. It's now smooth. Yeah, sometimes we got to do that. Like, it was so lumpy and bumpy, I couldn't even mix my paints anymore. But remember, this is what we got going on. This is the building we're going to start with. We have a lot to do, but I want to start here. And this is the building. And notice how there's white over here. We're going to work with white for right now and come along all these different lines. And then we'll make the slats in a second, and I'll show you a trick with that. Now, just remember, okay, when we're placing this, we want these panels, right? The panels are going in this direction, see here? So we're just going to try and fill it all in, and then we'll get to those windows in a little bit. So just fill in all this space with white, and this stage that we're doing, including making the windows, including doing all the darker parts of the outlines, we do not need to be perfect right here. Perfection comes at the end when we add the last details. Those will be the perfector details, okay? And we'll get to that. There is another building next to this white, so we're just going to go ahead, straighten out, and kind of box out where we want all the white to go. And I am going to go in this direction because that's the direction the slats are, and this will be easier when we place our lines. And yeah, sometimes I do that because I needed the excess off the bristles where they were at. Sometimes they get pushed up the brush, and that bothers me sometimes. That's on your own preference, to be honest. I like mine to stay more on the tip. So anyways, we're just gonna nice strokes, fill in this whole space. And it's okay if this yellow kind of shows through, because these buildings in real life, they're old, okay? They're not freshly painted. So this kind of helps give that old look. So it's okay to have color show through, remember. I do like having my music on, so that's why I'm voiceovering this. Plus, my kids are kind of loud, and yeah, so there's that reason as well. This way we can just focus on the painting. And go at your own pace. If you feel like you want to skip ahead and keep painting, however, until you're tired of it for a second, you can continue doing the buildings how we see them in the pictures. Totally, nothing wrong with that. And I know I've said this before, but I just love Virginia City. They have so many cool things over there and things to do. Bar hop pretty much everywhere. Lots of activities. Right now, it's that time, like I said the last time, it's right around hot August nights and stuff. So there's things going on constantly. Vendors really thrive in this city because it's such a tourist place to go. There are just so many things, and it's just like this place is just back in time. And if you ever go there, visit the museum. I do recommend doing the, what do they call it? The tunnel tour. It's in one of the bars. I can't remember which bar it is. I'll try to find out for you. But you can do the tunnel tour. It's so awesome. And then just learning the pieces of history, and they still have it all intact and everything. It's like really cool. The guides are pretty awesome. The guide we had, definitely a stoner dude, which makes it even better because he was just way relaxed and just fun to actually talk to. But he knew a lot of the history, so that makes it even easier and better. But yeah, again, there's lots of activities to do. You can do a train ride from Carson City all the way to Virginia City even. So there's that. And if you are in Carson City, go to Red's 395. That's a restaurant. Freaking amazing. Best food ever. But yeah, on the main street, which is where all these are, this is the main street that we're painting, you can literally walk that thing in 10 minutes. That's how small this town is, but it's so active and so awesome. Now here we got to add the side of the building, and I'll show that in just a second. I like to wrap. Remember, we like to wrap around the canvases. That is up to you. If you don't like to wrap around, you do not have to, but I like it. I gotta make my little angle a little better right here. Just angling it. And this side of the panels do go up and down. That's why I'm going up and down strokes. And like I said, this is paint, so you know if you mess up, you can just paint it with more paint. But right here, this is what we're getting. Okay, back to focusing. I'm actually using acrylic right now because 1, it does dry faster. 2, I'm out of oil in white. I only have my liquid white, and it is way too thin to be applying right here right now, and would just muddle everything when I go and do the slats. So I am using acrylic right now. And yes, you can do that. You can put acrylic on top of oil and then do oil again. It's totally fine. You can even seal these paintings with a nice thin coat of a sealer. Pretty much any choice you want will work. I like the kind that's glossy personally, but that's really up to you. And remember, we're focusing on one building, which does mean the bottom half of it as well. I'm just kind of sketching out where the window is, and I'm referencing the photo. So the window does have white window. I guess you call them window panes. Anyway. And not the whole thing is going to be white because there is a building right next to it. All these buildings literally are attached to each other, so we have to kind of include anything. And you don't have to do white if you don't want white on some of your buildings. There is going to be one building that's a brick building. Brick is interesting to paint, and we're going to have fun with that, I think. Maybe.
maybe. There's a lot of lines, okay? A lot of lines, little lines here and there, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I do use this brush and one other brush, so you only need 2 brushes right now for this part of the painting. And I just want to say I'm proud of you. If you haven't heard that today, I am. I'm proud of you for everything you've ever gone through. I know it's hard and it sucks. See, look, we're matching the window panes and stuff like that. So wherever there's white, that's where we're doing for today. Anyways, it takes a lot of strength and a lot of courage, but I do encourage you to share your story, because even holding it in too long is not helpful to your healing. It's better to get it out, but then you don't want to dwell on it, right? We're not going to tell the story to dwell on it. We're going to tell the story so we get it out of us. And then we paint. We paint away. We're going to give it to God. The things that we've gone through, let God deal with it. Literally, He's asked that of you so much. Just let Him have it. And He'll handle it. And He'll handle them if there's them that are involved. But yeah, just hang in there. Keep painting. Let's do a second coat, by the way. I do want to do a little darker. Mostly to even out my lines. I went a little crazy. But like I said, it's okay. This is not the perfection stage. And paint can always be painted back over, so it's fine. But I am just going to follow these lines the best I can, so that when we do the lines with the little trick I'm going to show you in a second, it'll look good. Just it helps. It helps with your eyes. On another topic real quick. I almost couldn't, I almost choked on my spit, damn it. On another topic, it is almost school. That is so crazy. Like, summer's over. What's weird is, like, 2025 felt like it just started. And, yeah. And now summer's over and school's starting. And Halloween is literally around the corner. And honestly, that is my favorite. It's my favorite season. Halloween. I love it. I'm always a gypsy pirate of some sort. Sometimes I'm a werewolf gypsy pirate. But I definitely just keep adding to the costume. Sometimes I'm a vampire one. Sometimes I'm like a creepy witchy one. It all just depends on that year and the mood that I'm in. But I do like to get into Halloween. It's expensive, bro. And sometimes I just wish my kids would get into the idea of like how I just like add to my costume. Like, can't they just pick a costume and then just add to it, Well, no, not really, I guess, because they're constantly growing, but I don't know, maybe one day they'll pick up on that and not have to buy brand new costumes every time and just add things to add to it, because why not? Sometimes I wish I just dressed like that randomly anyways, and I really don't know what stops me from it, because honestly, I know you don't give a fuck if I do. So why do I care, It's how I would rather dress, like, all the time. Well, I guess also because I live in a desert and it's fucking hot. So that's kind of an issue. But, yeah, like, speaking of, I can find literally, does this happen to you? Like, I can find literally any kind of outfit that I want on Pinterest. But to find that shit in real life, like, what the hell? Like, it's nowhere. And then I'm left to have to put outfits together on my own. And then, honestly, I hate shopping because it's just too much work. But, like, I'd love to have all the things, And I don't like just one style. Like, I like to switch it up. I'm a freaking Gemini, okay? We like to switch things up. It depends on my mood. I dress how my mood is. And I'm not just saying like happy, sad, gloomy, whatever. I'm talking about like, I'm in a rambunctious kind of way and I want to be a little bit witchy. So eat dirt. You know what I mean? And that just goes for everything. Or I'm feeling like princessy and I kind of want to wear a dress, but like not any of the dresses that you find in the stores. Like, they're honestly, like, what happened to style? Like, the styles we have right now, honestly, they're stupid. They really are. So I've opted to kind of dress like a homeless person just a little bit because honestly I just kind of gave up. But my brain thinks that it's awesome to think about different styles and stuff. It's just they're nowhere to be found, or they're freaking expensive, and that's stupid. I don't know. I'm not your typical girly girl, and I feel bad for my daughters because they are very much girly girl, and if they could just go shopping all the time, like, they would, but they like the whole scene of having to sit there and look through clothes and try them on, and I hate it. I mean, I kind of wish I liked it more because then I'd actually have clothes to choose from, but, you know, life. It's weird. Then you gotta find shoes for everything. Goodness sakes. That's crazy. Do you have a lot of shoes? I don't. Honestly, I don't know how people can have that many shoes. And then you see some content creators and their whole closet's like, it's like they have a whole closet just for shoes. And I'm like, but like, how do you even wear those? Do you wear them? Like, all of them? Or do you only wear 2 out of all of them? And then if you're only wearing 2 out of all of them, why do you have that many? You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of, I don't know. It's crazy. Okay, look, we're about to do, that's what I'm doing right here. We're filling in. I'm leaving in some of the gaps so that when we go and fill in with the darker color, we know where we want to put it. And everything's just going to get a little thicker coat. I'm actually just trying to use up the rest of the white that I have on my panel. These little spots right here, they're going to be shadowed, so technically you don't really need to add more white down here. I just had a lot. Now make sure we clean our brush, okay? And this is the brush cleaner I use, especially for acrylic. Okay, just dip your brush into water, you scrub it around in this, and then you use your fingers. Okay, so you just twirl it around. And then, like I'll show you right here, you're going to grab your fingers and just kind of nicely squeeze all the bristles and then rinse that out. And rinse pushing the brush, the quills up like that because you don't want to ruin your brush, okay? There are certain brushes you can ruin for other types of textures that you want, but not when we're trying to do good strokes. And then clean it just like you saw. So this is the brown we're using. Burnt sienna. And a little goes a long way. I was gonna use this palette knife, and you totally can if you want. And all you would do is put a little dab of it on the edge. And since we're doing really thin lines, okay, this would be too much and it would glob all over. I just want you to see that's too much, all right? Yeah, I'm going to try it right here. And honestly, I ended up using a ruler. I'm going to show you the ruler trick because this would take too long. It's too small of a knife to do this with. But you can come in here right here. These little edges, I'm just going to use a smaller paintbrush to fill in. And yeah, see, I'm sitting here like, no, this is going to take way too long. But if you do want to use it, this is how you would use the knife to put it in there. It's really up to you. What are you more comfortable with, you know? So if you would rather use the knife and you have a steady hand, then go ahead and do that. But let me show you a trick. I'm actually looking for a ruler right now. I have a metal one, and I think that will do perfectly. So we're going to make sure our line is good. I actually tried it like this first, and that sucked. And then I ended up using the ruler itself. Kind of like a stamp, you know. You're going to paint the edge of it, and you're going to stamp it. And it's okay if not all of it fills in. You don't actually want it to. Because it's old wood, you want it to look old still. So you don't want it to be perfect lines. Like, you want them to be straight. But you don't need them to be perfect. But see how I'm just like painting on the edge? And I actually end up switching this ruler to the wood ruler with the little metal thing in the side because this metal one I found out was actually bent. Kind of a lot. So it was kind of messing me up. So we're just going to paint on the edge. And I'm not going all the way to the edge because of how I'm holding this. I kind of needed to hold the end of it as well, just a little bit, and didn't want it to like mess up more. And as you can see, this ruler, because it's bent and misshapen just slightly, it wasn't going all the way to the edge on the other edge. So here's the metal part of the wooden ruler, and this one was so much easier to use. So these are easy, they're cheap, they're like 99 cents. And then I did try to make sure it was only on the metal part. I didn't want to accidentally get more than I want on there. But watch how this goes on perfectly, like a stamp, just boop. And you can do it a couple times before you have to refill it back on, but I was just paintbrushing it on, and that worked just fine. But when we have see, touched it a little bit, but that's okay because we'll cover that up anyways. But I'm going to kind of speed this up for you. But look how it's turning out. I love it already. It's actually turning out really good. And I don't know why it did that where it's like different angle, but whatever. So just keep doing this. It is going to take a minute because there's kind of a lot to fill in. And then on the side, we have to go up and down because those slats over there in the picture, and I'll show you that in a second, they do go up and down. So yeah, I don't know. Are your kids ready for school? Let's get back to that one, I guess. Dude, have you seen the recent commercials? Someone pointed that out, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, back to school commercials, and it's like kids are thrashing things or they're hiding from scary things happening. Like, what kind of commercial is this? Why are we doing this? I mean, if you want everyone to go homeschool, there you go. So see, that same brush that we used to paint on, we're just going to keep using that. And just nice and steady. Sometimes I'll put my pinky out and hold my pinky onto the canvas while I stroke along the edge that I want in there. But try to, whatever is most comfortable for you. There's moments in here where my arm was getting tired and I actually had to hold my arm up with my other hand, and sometimes that happens, you know. Don't forget this little edge, right on the edge. The edge side. Gotta wrap it. And just so you know, we're not going to even get close to being done with this building because we're already 33 minutes in. This is a whole hour of a video. And we do get to part of the windows. So there's that. But this is the more tedious part of it. And the point is to stay out of your mind. So whenever you're getting bad thoughts coming back in, just try to bring yourself back to the painting. Look at your picture here and there. Make sure you're getting in the shadow areas and just keep your focus over here. Art is so helpful this way. That's the same thing as like horse therapy. Horses are great for this too, where even dogs or cats, but at least horses you get to ride. But horse therapy and all that animal therapy stuff is good too because it's something that distracts you from having to deal with the hurtful things inside your brain. Sometimes our brains can be even worse than other people. And it's just because of the shit we've been through, and it just like replays it, and then we start to believe it. And that's the thing that we want to get out of. We created a habit with it, and now we're going to form a new habit. And I've said this before in the exercise videos. It takes 21 days to form a new habit. So 21 days of painting and you'll be like a whole new person. Or 21 days with working with animals. Even if you can't keep animals, you can always go down and try to volunteer at a shelter or something and distract yourself with an animal friend, or be a pet sitter and play with your friend's animals, or whoever lets you pet sit, you know. Which that's kind of cool because then you don't have to actually deal with having them all the time if you can't really do that. maybe you don't have the time to or something, but it's helpful. Hank saved my life, like literally. I got him, he's my Australian Shepherd Husky mix puppy. He's now 5 years old. I got him at 6 weeks old, and honestly, that is the best stage to get a dog, is right when they're weaned, because you have more time to work with them, and it just makes it easier as well. It is easy, you guys. Like, it's the same. Well, I guess it's as hard and as easy as raising a child. They literally need the same amount of time and attention to be a good dog, and one that's obedient. And I don't mean it in kind of any weird way. It's just, you want a good dog, right? You want a dog that's not going to jump on everybody. You want a dog that can protect you. You want a dog that can be your companion, your best friend. It takes time to create that, and it takes time to bond. So when I went through my brain injury stuff, that literally was the best distractant for me. And I taught him all kinds of things. I did tri-ball with him. He was very good at, like, what's it called? Fetch and bringing the ball back. I started bouncing the ball off the walls, and he can catch it. He's really good at catch. He just really good overall. I taught him I wanted him to be my protector dog, so I really didn't socialize him with other animals, but he's good with them. And I didn't want him to socialize with a whole bunch of other people right away, because I want a dog that's actually going to protect my ass. You know what I mean? And if they're friendly to everybody, he's not going to do that. I don't care what you say. They're not. I had dogs before, and they were socialized like that. And trust me, they would have just ran away if some dude was trying to hurt me. They would just run away. Like, I'm like, thanks for protecting me. You didn't do shit. Like, what the hell? So yeah, the way I trained him, though, we would go walking we had tree orchids, whatever, near our house, and we'd go walking in there all the time, and I'd let him off leash. And then he'd kind of get ahead of me, and so I'd hide behind trees or bushes, and I'd scream. I'd do like a little, like, terrified scream type of thing, and he'd come to find me. He's all alert, like, what's going on? Where's my mom? Like, I gotta get her. And that's how I started to train him to be more of a rescue dog as well, so that in the chance that me or my kids ever had a problem and he hears a scream, he'll come running. But that whole thing is exactly what got me out of my head. And I still walk with my dogs, even though right now it's just around my property. But that's where I also converse with God a lot. And God definitely got me out of a lot of the situation, a lot of the pain, a lot of the hurt. And honestly, I just talk to God a lot. So God and Hank. God and Hank got me out of all of that mess. Got me back to my normal self. And yes, it took time. It took a good 5 years, honestly, of overcoming all of the trauma. And sometimes that happens, and that's okay. It's okay that it might take you 10 years to get over something. But as long as you're putting in that work to get over it, and you're not staying in the victim mode, and you're learning how to set boundaries. I think that was the hardest part for me, was learning how to set boundaries. I became kind of a people pleaser. Not like a pick-me type, but just like, I just don't like drama. And it's not like I needed to be liked by everybody. I don't care about that. I don't know. I guess I just didn't have enough self-worth, and everyone just walked all over me. And I just liked to keep the peace a lot, and that kind of is not always the best. You need to have boundaries, and it's okay to tell someone to firmly to go fuck off. Like, I'm good. Go fuck off. And it's getting to that bravery point, I think, especially after dealing with trauma and all that. It is hard to tell someone to fuck off. It really is. You don't want to be hurtful to others, right? You know the pain that it caused you, so it makes it a twisted thing, but then you end up keep getting walked on, and that's not helpful either. So learn how to love people at a distance, and it's okay. And I even recommend it to just kind of isolate. Don't isolate where you're going to be like folding into yourself in a negative way, but like isolation is such a gift because it helps you work on your inner things. It's like, okay, well, why did I become a doormat? When did I become a doormat? When did I stop caring about myself more than I care about others? Like, it's great to care about others, but not when we're always putting ourselves last, because then we're trying to pour from an empty cup. And you just can't do that. The cup's empty. You can't pour anything out of it. So it doesn't help anybody, actually. And it's certainly not helping you any further. So try to learn how to set boundaries. Say no. You don't always have to say yes to things, even though you got invited and you're like, oh, it'd be nice to not be alone again, but you know deep down that you still have work to do on yourself. It's okay to say no. Nah, I'm good. Well, aren't you tired of being alone? Well, sure, it's lonely, but it's not really that bad. Like, there's a lot more peace where I'm at. And now I'm at the point of I'm so used to being alone that I'm so comfortable in it. It's like, ew, I gotta go out there with people. Like, there's part of me that's like, yeah, I want to, but at the same time, I'm like, but like all my stuff's here, you know, like everything's in my space. I can do whatever I want to do when I want to do it. And no one is going to like, you know, be in my way about it or question me. Like, why do I always have to get questioned about the things that I want to do? Like, I don't sit there and question you about your things that you're doing. You know what I mean? And I think that I found so much peace and comfort in the peace and comfort that I'm like, if I can just do everything in my house, that's all I want to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. So don't let people tell you, well, you need to socialize, because it's not healthy to not socialize. Those are people who have a problem sitting by themselves because they're not willing to look at themselves. They're not willing to look at the deeper things that they might need work on because they don't want to admit that they might need work on it. But the thing is, we're all spirits having a human experience, and every single human that's having a human experience needs to sit with themselves and work on themselves. This is how you truly find out what that meaning is in the Bible of be in this world, but not of this world. And you really truly start to see what that truly means. Like, if I like people, don't get me wrong, but I also don't, you know, like I was saying with the peace stuff, there's just some people that just don't bring you peace sometimes. And why do I want to deal with that? But at the same time, I don't know. It's like, it really doesn't matter. Like, I'm over here being a busy little bee and enjoying myself for once. So if you're going to be in my life, know that you're not competing with other people. You're competing with my peace. And if you're not going to bring me peace, you should just skedaddle, because this ain't going to work out, you know? And when you get to that level, you really are truly and can truly admit and say, finally, for once, I now understand what true peace is. It's not buying something. It's not needing that. It's not needing them. It's not needing another person. It's not anything. It's just me and my own company. And that is so freaking peaceful. That's peace. I can literally do whatever I want. That's peace. And I honestly don't understand why people don't want that. They say they want peace, but then they don't do anything to be peaceable. Does that make sense? You know, I talked about that a little bit in the last tarot reading. If you're not following me over there, I know I don't post that on social media. The tarot thing is more of like, if God wants someone to see it, he'll show it to one person or he'll show it to 1 million people. I'm letting that be in God's hands. And maybe I should just post it onto social media. That's fine. It doesn't really matter. I guess if I want more views, I don't know. It's a little confusing. I'm just doing what God wants me to do, okay? I take my orders from him. If he wants me to go boost it with other things, and then I'll do it. It's fine. But the last video, dude, was very controversy. Okay, I ruffled feathers. That's literally what part of my calling is to ruffle feathers. You're going to want to see that one, to be honest. I call some people out. And then I call other people out as well. I know. You can go ahead and go watch it. But I do call out both trans and straight people. And the whole video is about free will, basically, and how on both sides we've all done it to each other. Of putting our own opinions out there. And that literally... when we shove things and our opinions and our ideas down other people's throats, that's literally taking away someone else's free will. Their free will to think for themselves, their free will to choose for themselves. It takes it away. And that's not what God asked of us. He asked us to love each other, to support each other, and to serve each other. He did not ask us to judge. In fact, he said, "Thou shalt not judge, or thou will be judged the same." So, like, what are we doing, And trust me, I promise that video, it does start off ruffling feathers, right? For sure. Just go watch it. It's over there, God's Daughter Tarot. Yeah, it's a good one. I did forget to do the Bible read, so I guess I better do that today and post that. The Bible, and then the numerology. We're reading numerology through Linda Goodman's Star Signs, her book. We're using that as our guide. It's just a really fantastic read, and not a lot of people have time to read sometimes, so we're over there reading it and learning about numerology. So you're going to want to go check it out. So if you haven't yet, God's Daughter Tarot. Okay? And the scripture part, right? When we're reading the scriptures over there, like, just know that this isn't about religion or trying to follow me. I'm trying to open the door for you to question all things. Question the Bible. Question this. Question me. Question that person over there. Question their beliefs. What are your beliefs? Not in a way that we're being disrespectful to each other. Here's the windows that we're looking at, okay? But not in a way that we're being disrespectful, but in a way that keeps you curious. When we stay curious, we stay able to learn. When we stay in a place in our mindset to be willing to continuously learn something new, we then gain knowledge. And knowledge, my friend, knowledge is power. That's the key to human experience. Having knowledge so that you have and remember your own power. We all have a special something within us. And a lot of us go through this life being such a people pleaser that we never find out what exactly that is. So my hope in the tarot channel is to actually deliver that. Sometimes we'll get some kind of like love reading in there. That's pretty rare. But it also just depends on what spirit wants me to tell you. And sometimes we use the cards to do that. Cards are just fun. Like, honestly, they're just fun. If you've never touched a tarot deck, just go learn them. They're actually pretty fun. Even if you're just doing it for yourself. It's just a different perspective. That's all that is over there. That channel is just on different perspectives, staying curious, and questioning all things, including the Bible. Question it for yourself. Ask God while you're questioning these things. Have God be sitting with you while you're reading so that you can sit there and be like, wait. What does he mean when he says this? I don't understand. And you and God have these questions back and forth, these talks back and forth. The thing I do get upset about in the Bible is that they don't talk that much about the female history. And I noticed that when I was doing genealogy in my own family history, which made so much sense. Why my great-grandmother was so obsessed with genealogy is because there's never anything at all written about women and what they contributed to within our family line. And then when you look through actual history, you notice that too. And then if you dig and dig and dig, which there was a 7th grader, by the way, who dug and dug and dug on all the presidents and did their genealogy and found out that they're actually all related. Can you believe that? They're all related. Somehow they're all cousins of some sort. Yes, even including Barack Obama, okay? All but an Alexander something. I forget what it's called. Alexander. I don't remember. I think it started with a G. But all presidents that have ever been a president, they're all related. So, hold on. Trying to film, and there's ice machine going on out there, so I was trying to wait until they're done. Anyways, so it's like, no wonder we only had the options that we had to choose from. Like, no wonder this is it. Like, they're out of billions of people who live in America, these are our options. Listen, say what you want about it. It's just like, there could have been others that we could have chose from. But no. Why? Because we live in a fucking matrix, okay? I don't even care. Like, I'm a flat earther, and yes, we live in a fucking matrix. Read the Bible. It says in the very first pages how Earth was made. But secondly, and now it's coming to light that so many things were changed. And as an ex-Mormon, because I grew up Mormon, okay, when I read the Joseph Smith section of the book, I was like, wow, he even got his quote-unquote powers taken away because he was lying. He was changing things up. And so even then, and this is what started me doing history on what religion I even freaking believe in. This is why I actually believe more so in Native American history. We have a lot of Native American in us, and that's why I read about that. That's literally why. Because, like I said in the beginning, I'm a mutt, right? I have everything in us. I think I said that. Pretty sure. If I didn't, we got French, Swedish, Cherokee, a little bit of German, a little bit of Irish, a little bit of Canadian. So then we got, on the Indian side, the Cherokee, the Chippewa, Shoshone, Washoe, Paiute. I'm a mutt, okay? And so it's just important for me to know my own family history because that gets me to know myself more and what my purpose should be in this life. Like, you don't just like wake up one day and be like, oh, that's my purpose. I mean, I guess. I don't know. Not me, anyways. Like, but yeah. It's important to learn your history, you guys. It's important. It comes all the way down to having choices in presidents and everything that we do in this human experience. Everything we do comes down to choices we choose to make. And that will either keep us on the path towards God or it'll hinder us from it. And God already knew that. He already knew that we were going to fall off the path. But the path still exists, and it's your choice to choose to get back on that path. And it might be hurdles and huge slippery slopes up the mountain to get there. But I promise you it'll be worth it because there's peace at the end of it. And this kind of peace, like I'm talking about, being able to sit with myself and not care and just do whatever I want to do because that's what makes me happy. That's the peace that I wish everybody can have, but I'm going to tell you this right now. I could not have reached this level of peace without God's help. 100%. And that's not to like toot my own horn, but this is to like help you really try to hone in because here's the thing. I'm not perfect yet. I'm not even going to try to say that that's my whole purpose in life is to become perfect. In fact, I hope that I don't. That would mean that I'm done learning, and I'm not. I don't ever want to be done learning something new. I love learning. It literally is how we grow and how we, I was going to say expel, but that's not what I wanted to say. Escalade. That's how we evolve in this life. And that's so important to who we are. Like, who are you? Who do you want to be? How are you going to get there? How do you want to get there, you know? And just putting in the work. And it does take time. It takes time. And guess what? Time Yeah, we have to be on time to work, but time is an illusion. It was never about our time. It was always about God's time. And the thing of that is, you're already right on time. Yeah, there's going to be things thrown at you, but that's because He's molding you into who He knows you can be. So what is the best version of yourself? What do you want to discover about yourself? Your body is capable of anything. It's your mind you have to convince. So start to put in the work. It's the same thing as like you putting in the work to lose the baby weight or whatever weight you got going on, right? Because that was a choice, right? If you're doing that, if that's something you're interested in, I'm just going to use that example. But it took time to create a baby and for your body to go through the changes to accommodate for the baby. Okay, and that's just one baby. Some of us had 4, some of us had 10. But it took time. And so give yourself time to lose the weight. And just like everything else, give yourself time to grow into the version you're truly trying to be, your true, authentic self. The self that you usually hold back from the world because you're scared of them judging you. You're scared of them judging you. I'm scared of them judging me. That's why a lot of stuff I've held back on. That's why a lot of my beginning videos, especially when I started to get into the art part, they weren't delivered the best. Honestly, they're pretty cringy. But that's just growth. And hopefully if you gather anything from my channel at all, is you see the growth and how cringy it started and to where I'm at now. I mean, it's probably still cringy, but whatever. I don't even care. But that's the thing. I don't care anymore. I don't care if it comes off cringy. I'm not doing it technically for you. Yeah, I'm hoping that I help somebody, obviously. But I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing it for me. This is something that just makes me happy. Like, even if I never go far with YouTube, even if it just stays at 300 followers. But by the way, we need to talk about that. But even if it stays at 300 followers or subscribers, that's fine. That's fine. Maybe YouTube wasn't meant to make me money one day. It's me doing something that I actually love to do. And that is helping people. I love to help people, whether it's with their weight loss journey or whether it's with getting out of their head and doing art, whether it's just to be on here, to be goofy, and then gives someone else a little stir in their little brain and body, and they decide, you know what, I'm not going to be scared anymore. I'm going to do it. If she can do it, I can do it. And that's kind of the point. Like, I'm just being an example of the things that you can be capable of as well. So if it ever started to, like, you had it in the back of mind that you wanted to do it, but you're scared, do it scared anyways. And there's videos out there that often say that. And there's videos out there that help you. What do they talk about? Stop being scared of being seen. And that literally held me back so much because I was worried. I was worried about the people who have known me, who used to know me, who know me now, my family, all of it. It's because like all of my past, present, and future are going to see these one day. And I couldn't help but think about what their reaction would be, and it literally held me back in so many ways on my videos. But do you see, I still show up anyways, and I still do it terrified. I still do it even though I don't like to listen to my own voice, even though I don't like to see myself on camera because I suck at angles and not all of my angles are good, or because in the end of this video you'll see my allergy eyes, or because I have allergy eyes, you know what I mean? And I will scrutinize and pick on myself in my head, which is totally dumb of me to do, but we all do it. We're usually our own worst critics, and it's fine. But just do what I'm doing. Just show up anyways. Just do it. It really does not matter. It doesn't matter. Really, really, truly. Anyways, I hope that you guys do just be you, the you want to be, the you want to show others that you're so holding back and you've been holding it back for a while. This is your sign. It's time to let that go. It's time to shed that skin of yours. That's the skin you need to shed. That's your ego telling you you're not good enough when you are perfect. You are so perfect as you are. Right now in this moment as you are. And there's nothing more beautiful than that once you finally see it for yourself.
All right, so far this is what we got going on. And then we'll do more next time. There's a lot of details to be doing, as you can see. So we'll get more on this building and then the next buildings. We won't go into a whole lot of detail. We just want to get the basic foundation, okay? This is not the perfection stage, so it does not matter that it's uneven. It doesn't matter that it's not all the way filled in right now. We're just laying the foundation, okay? There's a lot to do on this painting, okay? There's a lot. And we sort of lost our road and our mountain in the background, which we'll add all that stuff later. So no big deal. And my allergies are kicking in. My eyes were starting to water. It was literally tearing down. Freaking allergy season. It's so fun. Right where I'm at, it's the rabbit brush. It's getting to us. It's so joyful, you guys. Like it hurts. My eyes are killing. All right, so next time. All right, see you later. Peace.